Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. This is a rare occurrence on NoDQ&A video where I am recording before Raw has aired live on the East Coast. I know what the Raw spoilers are, and I will be discussing what happened on Raw during today's video. So if you have not watched Raw yet, this is your warning. Shut off the video and watch it later. However, if you just don't give a damn and you do not care about the spoilers, enjoy the video. Here we go. First question today comes from Rob K. Do you think Gallows and Anderson will interfere in the Roman Reigns AJ Styles match and cost Reigns the championship? That certainly seems to be the most likely outcome now at WWE Payback. Basically on Raw, we had Anderson and Gallows come out and attack Roman Reigns. And then during a backstage segment, they told AJ Styles that they have his back at the Payback pay-per-view. And AJ Styles denied that he had anything to do with Gallows and Anderson attacking Roman Reigns. WWE is trying to get fans familiar with the Bullet Club faction. WWE has been posting videos on social media showcasing Anderson and Gallows and showing photos of them in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So there's a huge tease right now that there is going to be a Bullet Club reunion in WWE. Now, will it be Gallows and Anderson with AJ Styles? That remains to be seen. Will we see an AJ Styles heel turn at Payback? That is a possibility. There are definitely other options as well. Maybe Gallows and Anderson will have another guy that is with them by the name of Finn Balor. That could happen. I've gotten so many questions about this. Fans are certainly intrigued by the idea of a Bullet Club faction, whether it's called Bulletproof or Balor Club. Fans are definitely interested in seeing this faction in WWE. So time will tell what happens, but based off of the London Raw, it certainly seems like there is going to be some sort of interference from Gallows and Anderson at the pay-per-view. I mean, that's the hook at this point, that there's going to be something going on with them, and they are aligned with somebody in WWE. And I got this question here from the Daniel Allen. What if Anderson and Gallows interfere in Reigns versus AJ and end up helping Reigns and screw AJ and those three start a new faction? Please answer in video. That would be the big swerve. I think a lot of fans would like to see that, although I did do a poll on NoDQ.com, who should Anderson and Gallows align themselves with, and Finn Balor and AJ Styles definitely got the most votes, and Roman Reigns surprisingly did not get a lot of votes, although it did get votes to some degree. That is one way you could do a Roman Reigns heel turn, by having a swerve where him, Anderson, and Gallows were revealed to be in cahoots all along. That would be a very logical way to turn Roman Reigns and have him form a new group. Or you can just stick to the predictable route by having AJ Styles go heel and have Bulletproof as one faction, and then have Roman enlist the services of Dean Ambrose and a returning Seth Rollins, and you do Bulletproof versus The Shield. So I'm fine either way. I think it's more likely we see an AJ turn than a Roman turn, because I've talked about Seth Rollins coming back as a babyface. Dean Ambrose is already a babyface, and Roman Reigns could once again get the rub off of being aligned with Ambrose and Rollins, and the crowd would be into The Shield as a group, and that could help get Roman Reigns over as a babyface again. I think that that's the most likely outcome here, that we see Bulletproof with AJ as a heel versus The Shield sometime down the line. That would be an awesome storyline. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get it at this point. I mean, I think WWE is going to deliver on something. They're not going to tease the fans of a Bulletproof faction or a Balor Club faction without delivering in some fashion. Alright, this one comes from Jamie Clark. With speculation Ryback is unhappy with his current position, do you think he was the guy recently rumored to give his notice? I have no confirmation of that, about Ryback giving notice to WWE. Clearly from a recent interview he did, he is frustrated with being in the dark match at WrestleMania 32, and I shouldn't really call it a dark match. It was a pre-show match that aired on the WWE Network, but you get my point. There was maybe 10,000 people in the arena, and it felt like a dark match, essentially. It basically was. And I do not blame Ryback if he's upset about that, and I would not blame Kalisto for being upset about that. Both of them deserved a better position on the show, in my opinion, and especially the U.S. title deserved a better position on the show than to be the dark match, especially after all the work that Cena did last year to elevate the title. But with that being said, Ryback had his run on top, and it's unlikely he is going to get a big push again, and I just don't see it with so many other guys coming in. You have Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, all these guys, Nakamura for that matter, all these guys in NXT that are going to come in and take key positions on the roster. Ryback is just going to keep getting pushed further and further down the card. I really don't see him getting a renewed push in WWE despite his size and being the type of guy that Vince likes. He's just gotten so many opportunities and so many pushes. I think time is running out for Ryback to be a major player in WWE. Maybe things will change. Maybe he'll get a renewed push at some point, but I think it's less likely as time goes on that he's going to get a significant push in WWE as a featured attraction. Alright, this one comes from Tupac's father. Nice username there. Thoughts on the passing of Balls Mahoney? Short WWE run, but one of the most memorable guys from ECW. It's very sad. The way the story goes is that he was at home with his wife watching Jeopardy, and he laid down and just died right there on the couch. It's a terrible story, very tragic. He's got a family, he's got kids. I feel really bad for his family, and it's no secret all the physical punishment that Balls Mahoney took. He was part of ECW during its hottest period, and he took a lot of physical punishment, and he continued on the indies for several years and then did have that short WWE run. A lot of people said he was looking in rough shape over the past few years. Apparently he took a bad fall about a week or so ago, and who knows exactly. We still do not have details regarding exactly how he died, but that is a pattern in wrestling that we've seen. A lot of guys dying young in their early 40s and sometimes in their late 30s. It's a tough lifestyle, and sometimes people live hard and they pay the price in their later years, and in some cases in their middle years. It's just really unfortunate, and it's a real sign that I think people need to slow down a little bit and take more precautions and take care of their bodies and take less risks. Some people look back at ECW and they want to do that kind of stuff, but I think after seeing the consequences, what's happening to people, I think it's best to tone down a little bit, and you can be entertaining without trying to kill yourself in every single match. There are different ways to do sports entertainment besides getting hit in the head with a chair shot and getting hit with objects to the head and just all that physical punishment that isn't really necessary. The key is to make it look real without guys getting hurt, but going out there and just going too extreme, it's proven to be costly for a lot of people. Alright, this one comes from Dan Covey. Do you ever see WWE using the social outcasts seriously? What's your view on them as a team? They are basically enhancement talent. They are there to put over other people, and I think the social outcasts was formed to give those guys something to do and nothing more. That's the way I see it. I doubt WWE will ever push them strongly as a tag team, and it was pretty clear from day one that these guys were designed to try and be a copycat version of the New Day, and to a degree it worked out a little bit, I guess. I did like Bo Dallas doing the Bo Rider gimmick, but they only did that for 1 week. I thought that was the most entertaining thing that the group has done, quite frankly. But beyond that, it's just basically the new 4MB, or now I guess you call it the 3MB again, since Adam Rose got suspended. And that's another sad story. Alright, got this one here from Top 10 Wrestling. Hey Aaron, what do you think of the idea of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn forming a tag team similar to MVP and Matt Hardy? I think that would be something interesting to do down the line. Right now, Kevin Owens is red hot as a heel, and there's still a lot of mileage with this Sami Zayn-Kevin Owens feud. They got the match at Payback, and I think you can drag out that feud for the next several months and do a series of matches. There's no need to have them united together right now, but definitely down the line, maybe a year from now, you can have them team up, and maybe you could even do it like MVP and Matt Hardy, where they start off as an odd couple tag team that they hate each other's guts, similar to Kane and Daniel Bryan for that matter as well. But then eventually they end up as a babyface tag team, and Kevin Owens makes the full turn to a face, and they could be a major tag team in WWE. That is definitely something that I would explore doing, and in fact, I would expect it to happen because the guys are so close in real life. I think it's almost inevitable that one day we'll see them as a tag team in WWE. Alright, this one comes from Jishnu. Hey Aaron, what is WWE doing with Del Rio? He is a freaking main eventer. Don't you feel he should go back to his car entrance? Basically, they are doing nothing with him. By putting him in there with the League of Nations, that is essentially nothing. Really, they haven't done much with him since he came back to the company. He did beat John Cena, and then almost immediately, he felt like just another guy on the roster. When they paired him up with Zeb Coulter, that was the beginning of the end for him with his WWE comeback, and then pairing him with Sheamus's group. He hasn't really stood out. He's just been a mid to upper card heel on the roster and nothing more. And you would think WWE would be doing more with him, considering that they spent a lot of money to bring him back after he was gone. I'm not sure I would go back to the past by doing the whole car gimmick again. I would like to see Ricardo back. I would like to see the two of them reunited. If they were going to bring back anything from Del Rio's past, bring back Ricardo and the whole ring entrance. But you don't necessarily have to bring back the car. I guess you could as well. I just think they should try to come up with new ideas for Del Rio rather than just throwing him in a faction and having him just be a guy on the roster. Actually, give him a good storyline. Give him some kind of reason for us to care about him. Alright, this one comes from Jay Huffin. What are your thoughts on Nakamura's theme song? Best theme song in the last decade? I strongly believe so. I think it's awesome. I liked the theme song from the very first time I heard it, which was a video that leaked on YouTube a couple of hours before the NXT TakeOver Dallas show, where Nakamura was doing his entrance. He was rehearsing it. And I love the theme song. I think it's great. It's epic. And I have to give CFOs credit. I think they've done a really good job with the theme songs, and with Jim Johnston not around, I think CFOs have stepped up to the plate, and I'm really impressed with a lot of these theme songs. I like Kevin Owens' theme, I like Sasha Banks' theme, Jeff got me hooked on that. I like Sami Zayn's theme, I like Austin Aries' theme, I like Joe's theme. I think CFOs are doing a great job, and Nakamura's theme, it gets you excited, and that's what the theme song should do. It should get you pumped up and excited to see that person. And there was a cool cover on YouTube that somebody did with the violin. It's unique. It stands out. So, yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of it. And I have to say I'm a big fan of CFOs at this point. I think they're doing a great job overall with the theme songs. Alright, this one comes from Junaid. Why doesn't WWE do anything with the Ascension? They're a really talented tag team with a unique gimmick. They haven't really been doing anything with the Ascension because right from the get-go, they were labeled as a parody. The announcers were burying them right off the bat. People were comparing them to LOD and Demolition as a wannabe tag team, just knocking off acts from the past. And Ascension never really recovered after that. I mean, first impressions are everything, and when a tag team is immediately labeled as a cheap knockoff of a past tag team, they were doomed to fail right from the start. And it's going to be even worse now that Conor got suspended. When Conor does come back, I do not see the team really doing anything, and it's not like they have been doing anything. I mean, it's looking really bad for both of them. Conor and Victor, I mean, maybe Victor will get a singles push out of this. Maybe they'll do something with him, repackage him, but the Ascension as a tag team, I think they're all but done at this point, to be honest with you. Alright, this one comes from Oscar. With the audio transcript of Hogan's racist rant now available online, could you see WWE continuing to stay away from Hogan? I think for the time being, and now that WrestleMania has passed, I doubt that there's any real consideration to bring back Hogan. There's not really a need to bring him back for anything. Now maybe next year, WrestleMania 33, I could see Hogan possibly showing up. They still haven't done the NWO induction, which I'm guessing was going to happen this year at WrestleMania 32 before the whole Hogan racist thing went down. But next year, once the heat has died off, I could see Hogan going into the Hall of Fame with Hall and Nash as the NWO, and at that point, he can maybe do something at WrestleMania. Maybe have him come out there and somebody runs into his fist. I do think we will see Hulk Hogan in a WWE ring again. It's just a matter of when WWE feels the time is right and when there's not a lot of talk about the things that Hogan said in that tape. Alright, got this one here from Mike. If you did not start up NoDQ.com, what year would you have stopped watching pro wrestling? 2001. As a fan, I was really frustrated with the Steve Austin heel turn and then the second Steve Austin heel turn during the invasion, and I was extremely frustrated with the whole invasion angle and how badly WWE botched it. So I think I would have just given up on it in 2001, and actually towards the end of 2001 I was very close to just shutting down the website completely and just moving on to something else. I did not, and thankfully I did not do that. Because here I am, I've kept the site going, it's been doing very well, and it's been very good to me over the years. So I'm glad I kept watching and I kept doing the website. But yeah, during that period, if I did not have the website in the first place, I think I would have just stopped watching for a time period. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, I'm not sure. But yeah, I was just really burnt out on WWE towards the end of 2001. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding Payback, and I will see you guys next time for more.